How's it going, guys? JP here, and welcome back to 7 Days of Horror. We are on day number 2. We're talking Stephen King films this time, and the film that I'm going to be reviewing today is Stephen King's Bag of Bones from the year 2011 with the tagline of Beware the Lake. So, this one is a newer one that I haven't seen. This is the first time watching it. We follow a writer, once again, as he is trying to deal with the untimely death of his wife. He finds out that she was pregnant while she was, killed, and he didn't think that they could have kids, so he kind of has this suspicion that she was cheating on him. He decides to work on his next book, which he is under pressure by his agent to begin work on, even though it's very shortly after his wife's death. He decides to go to the lake house that they inherited from his grandfather, I believe, or the father. There he is haunted by the memory and possibly the ghost of his wife and other ghosts from that place, which is called Darkscore Lake. Darkscore Lake has a very dark history and a very, mysterious history. Basically, he runs into a woman in the town where he saves her daughter from being hit by a car. He finds out a bit more about this young woman and finds out that the husband of the woman tried to kill the daughter. Then we have her father-in-law trying to take custody of the child. So he gets involved in that a bit and tries to help her out. And somehow all of this stuff is kind of connected to the mysteries of Darkscore Lake. So I think I kind of explained the plot enough. As he begins to uncover more of the mysteries, he's also seeing a bunch of ghostly images where you don't really know if he's really seeing them or not. Kind of, much like The Shining. After watching, thinking about it a bit, this film kind of has a Shining vibe to it. You have a writer going to a, remote location that has a dark history where he's seeing and experiencing visions and terrifying images of ghosts, little rotted girls that look like they have been drowned and things like that. So kind of like The Shining, actually. As he discovers more of the mystery, it gets pieced together, and by the end of it, I found it kind of just being a bit disappointing, maybe wanting something a little more or something a little different. It just seems to go into the typical resolutions and the typical reveals of what actually happened. There was one scene revealing a singer, what happened to kind of the source of all of this problems with Darkscore Lake. It goes back to 1939, where we follow a singer who something very unfortunate and very wrong happens to her, and I found that to be probably the most effective scene in the entire film. But overall, I felt kind of disappointed by the end of this one. It had its moments, but there wasn't a whole lot to really get super excited about by the end of it. You kind of just feel like you just watched a 3-hour mediocre thing. It was better than mediocre. It was good enough, but it left more to be desired. And that's basically all I have to say about Bag of Bones. It has some genuinely creepy moments, but they're few and far between, and I found that the most effective things were in the flashback scenes. I also was more interested in the writing process of this guy's, the process of him writing the book. I found every time that they would, focus on him writing the book, I found it really interesting for some reason. So, that was kind of cool, but you don't see enough of that, I guess, and that's kind of a weird thing to want to see more of. Anyway, Bag of Bones, day number 2. I give Bag of Bones 6.5 out of 10. Still maybe worth checking out, but I wouldn't watch all 3 hours of it at once. I'd watch, one part one day, and then the next day maybe watch another part. So, continuing on, I think we have one more mini-series in this little, 7 days of Stephen King week, and then we'll move on to some of the films. See you guys tomorrow with another day, so peace.